need to make an emergency appointment with neurosurgery at 1401 Centerville Road, Suite 300, Tallahassee, Florida, 32308. Phone number 850-877-5115. I called several primary care physician offices today because I need to make an emergency neurosurgery appointment, and my Humana Medicaid health insurance requires my primary care physician to send a referral and authorization so I could go to those specific specialists and doctors. One in particular is a neurosurgery. My previous primary care physician at the HCA Florida Capital Primary Care told me I need to find a new primary care physician. This is when I was at the dentist, and I had to pay out of pocket because my Humana Medicaid health insurance requires the doctor who is my primary care physician, whether it's through the dental care of Humana Medicaid or my health care, to send a referral and authorization for me to go to the doctor. They take a long time, so I couldn't wait, because me having to wait to go to see the specific specialists and doctors and dentists was making me more sick and making my injuries worse. So I had to pay out of pocket, and it's costing me a lot of money because I don't have money to spend in the first place. All of my money is for necessary living necessities, like, for example, transportation and food. I've literally had to spend $32,000 in the past 6 months just to find a habitable place to live that didn't have mold and filth and pests and people outside smoking and selling narcotics and prostituting and coughing and spitting on the floor outside my door, and the smell and the smoke from the methamphetamine and narcotics that they smoke seeping underneath the cracks of the doors of my hotel room and getting into my room and making me sick and making my pillows smell like smoke, and all my clothes reek smoke and disgusting filth. This is documentation from the hospital. This medication that was prescribed from the hospital. This is more medication that was prescribed from the hospital. This is me at Costco purchasing some necessary living necessities, like hygiene and food. This is me at the dermatologist doing a surgery because there's a lump that formed in my groin area. This is his assistant injecting me with a numbing agent. And when she injected me, the pus that was in the lump squirted out. That's what that line is right there. That's pus squirting out of my groin area. It's squirting out almost all the way to the wall. It's very painful during, before, and after because the lump is infected. It was causing pain in my groin area and all throughout my right leg. As you can see, it was filled with pus, squirted. And this is because I was having difficulty keeping up with my hygiene regimen because of the pain in my neck and my back, as well as accomplishing my necessary living necessities, just like cleaning up and necessary living necessities in general. I've been trying to just tough it out because I've been worrying about just what strangers are thinking of me and them purposely just trying to make me feel guilty and act like I'm acting like a baby. And they've been trying to create this stigma, or this paint this type of picture that I've just been acting like a baby. But in all actuality, it's become a necessity at this point that I acknowledge that I need some help. Because if I continue to just try to tough it out and worry more about what complete strangers are thinking about me, who could really care less whether I fully recover from my neck injuries or my back injuries or my skin condition, and the fact that it's making it more difficult for me to fully recover from my neck and my back injuries, and it's making it more difficult for me to keep up with my hygiene regimen because of my neck and back pain. You know, if I worry more about what strangers think about me, my injuries in my neck are going to take that much longer for me to fully recover from, and the pain in my neck and my back is going to continue to increase if I continue to just try to tough it out because I'm worrying about what strangers are thinking about me. And my skin condition is going to take that much longer for me to heal from and fully recover from. So, like I said, at this point, it's become a necessity that I ask for some help and get a home health care aide to help me with my hygiene and cleaning up. It's the same thing as, for example, if I tell a thief, if I tell a thief my alarm code to my house, I'll be at risk for that thief to rob me. If I tell a doctor or a medical professional that I need help and they're acknowledging that I have neck injuries and back injuries and a skin condition that I need to be able to make sure my hygiene is kept up with so I could fully recover from, as well as several other things that I need to do, which are necessary living necessities for me to fully recover from my neck and back injuries, and they're not helping me, it's a serious problem. For example, once again, I'll repeat it just to be clear. If I tell a thief my alarm code to my house, I'll be at risk of that thief robbing me. If I'm talking to medical professionals and doctors and they're acknowledging that I'm injured and I need help and they're not helping me, That's an even more serious problem. That's considered to be an attempt of murder in the United States of America, especially when someone has government Medicaid health insurance or government health insurance. I have government Medicaid health insurance because I'm poor. The government is giving me health insurance because I'm poor, and they're acknowledging that I'm poor, and they're acknowledging that I need health care. Every time I go to the doctor, every time I go to a hospital, every time I go see a specialist, my government Medicaid health insurance is paying the bill for the doctor's visits, the hospital visits, the specialist visits, everything that I'm going to the doctor or needing help from a medical professional for. My government Medicaid health insurance is paying the bill. They're paying the doctors, they're paying the specialists, they're paying all these different medical facilities that I'm going to. They're paying them. Now, if those doctors and those specialists and those medical professionals are not helping me, and my government Medicaid health insurance is paying them, that means those doctors, those specialists, those medical professionals are conducting a procurement scam because they're being paid by the federal government through a procurement program. And that also means that those doctors are negligent and they're not helping me when they're acknowledging that I need help. And they are the only people I could go to for help because that's all I have for help. Because I have government Medicaid health insurance to help me be able to pay to get medical health care. So I have no choice but to go to those specific doctors because those are the doctors that are accepting my government Medicaid health insurance. And if they're not helping me and the government is paying them to help me, that means they're scamming me and they're attempting to murder me because they are the only people I could go to for help. And they're also scamming the government and conducting a procurement scam by accepting the payment from the government and telling the government that they're helping me, but they're not. This picture is me in the ambulance going to the emergency room. This is me telling the ambulance that my neck is hurting really bad and that I just got a surgery in my groin area. This is me at the emergency room getting an MRI. This is the documentation from the HCA Florida Capitol Hospital that's on the same compound and 100 yards away from my HCA Florida primary care physician's office, who told me I need to find a new primary care physician. The primary care physician's office is at 2770 Capitol Medical Boulevard, Suite 200, Tallahassee, Florida, 32308. The HCA Florida Capitol Hospital is located at 2626 Capitol Medical Boulevard. Capitol Medical Boulevard. right on the other side. HCA, Florida Capital Primary Care. I had an appointment on September 19th, 2023 at 3 p.m. and I missed my appointment because of the fact that I need help. I need a home health care aide to just help me with just my necessary living necessities. Perfect example, I missed my appointment with my primary care physician. That's even more of a reason that I need help from a home health care aide, let alone the fact that I need help with my hygiene and my necessary living necessities in general because of my injuries in my neck and my back and my skin condition that needs to be properly kept up with so I can fully recover from, as well as the injuries in my neck that I need help with so I can fully recover from them, as well as the pain that is increasing because of me just continuing to try to tough it out and worrying about what complete strangers are thinking about me. I could really care less about whether I fully recover or the fact that the pain is increasing because I'm trying to tough it out, or the fact that my skin condition is getting worse because I'm continuing to just try to tough it out while I'm in pain. Two 770 Capitol Medical Boulevard. My primary care physician is Dr. Leonard Waldenberger. They were telling me to tell my primary care physician that I need help. This is also affecting my schools. For example, my schooling, my classes that I need to go to. I'm doing everything I possibly could. For example, trying to get a home healthcare aide. This particular company, Caring Hand Companions LLC, I called them for help, and they sent a home healthcare aide to my house to help me that was sick. And she had infected bumps on her face, as well as she had a very toxic smelling body odor and a very toxic smelling breath. And after she helped me finish showering and shaving, I felt sick, and I could smell and taste her breath and her body odor, the smell of her toxic body odor in my airways every time I took a deep breath in. And I felt hot. I felt like I was getting a fever. I felt sick. My head hurt. I felt dizzy. I felt pain all throughout my entire body. And I had to go to the emergency room, and they gave me this medication. It's called ondansetron. Ondansetron. It's also called Zofran, and it immediately got rid of the fever. It immediately got rid of my throat hurting. It immediately got rid of my headache. It immediately got rid of my pain instantaneously. It was a little old small pill. It did everything that all 4 of these pill bottles that you see in this bag were supposed to do. This is the text message that I sent to the person who said they were in charge of that specific home healthcare agency, and I told them what happened. And this is some documentation that they asked me to sign. This is me specifically telling that person about the home healthcare aide person having toxic body odor and toxic breath. I asked her if she was a smoker. I told her she needs to go to the doctor. She has infected bumps on her face. also indicating that she has an infection in her mouth. Her breath smells like her body odor and breath. I said my breath smells like her body odor and breath now. Uh, Also mentioned that if they have anybody else without those types of problems. She tried to make an excuse saying, I've never had any complaints about her body odor or work from her other clients. I apologize if you were not satisfied with her work today. And I didn't want to be rude. And so I said she must have been having a bad day then. She mentioned all her clients are older. Uh, so that is probably why older people are not going to complain like I would, because they are defenseless. I need to fully recover from injuries, not make them worse. I'm not lying about her body odor and breath smelling toxic either. And they mentioned that they understand. And then I said, every time I take a deep breath in, I smell her body odor and breath. It's disgusting. It smells like tuberculosis. That's common amongst people that have friends that are smokers. Do you have someone without those problems? And they mentioned they apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. As a courtesy to you, please consider today's visit paid in full. Thank you. I said, sure. Then I mentioned to them that I need to schedule future appointments also. For example, she wasn't able to clean my house. I have laundry, linen, and housekeeping that I need help with also. I feel sick now, though. My throat hurts. I feel hot and nauseous. I'm in pain also. I need to go to the emergency room, which is another problem because I'm going to have to shower when I return from the ER. I have a paper due for my English class tomorrow also. I'm going to HCA Florida Capital at 2626 Capitol Medical Boulevard, Tallahassee, Florida 32308, United States. This is the beginning of that text message. This is the medication that they gave me when I went to the emergency room. Ondansetron. Medication works very well. This is the information that was on the screen in the hospital room that I was in. Patient Fuad Omar, room 25 at 3:42 p.m. Dr. DeFreitas is the doctor who prescribed me that ondansetron medication that works very well. He sent it to the Publix pharmacy. The Publix pharmacy, unfortunately, told me that they can't deliver medication to Medicaid patients anymore. And they told me that after I complained that the medication that they delivered to me, they were putting it on the floor outside the door of my hotel room. And there were people outside of my hotel room that were smoking narcotics, selling narcotics, prostituting, coughing, spitting on the floor. And it was just really not the best, place for them to put the medication on the floor. And I asked them to just call me to tell me when they were arriving so I could get the medication directly from the delivery driver. And they told me that they're no longer going to be able to deliver the medication to Medicaid patients. So I called the company called Script Drop that delivers the medication for Publix pharmacy with Uber Eats. And Script Drop told me to just pay the $5 delivery fee directly on the Script Drop website and not on the Publix pharmacy app. And they'll deliver the medication to me with Uber Eats. So I did that. They delivered the medication to me. But then the next time when I needed my medication, which was this particular time, the situation with this home healthcare agency called Caring Hand Companions, LLC. When I had to go to the emergency room because of the person that they sent to help me being sick, and then them making me sick, and also cutting the bottom of my penis with the electric shaver after she helped me shower, and then it was bleeding really bad, and then the next morning when I woke up, my penis was swollen with blisters that were peeling and leaking blood and pus. It was really bad, and the doctor prescribed me medication when I went to the emergency room that same day, and the medication worked very well, but the situation in general became worse because she also cut my penis, and it made my penis swell up, and it's now I have open wounds with blood and pus coming out of them, blisters, and it's just really it's really bad. These are pictures of pictures showing that I got in contact with my teachers and specifically told them what happened. This was some information, some documentation that was sent to me by by the HCA Florida Primary Care Office, telling me that I have to find a new primary care physician. But I didn't receive the documentation. They left a note on my door saying that they sent me something, and it wasn't until I went to the primary care physician office after my appointment. After I missed my appointment, and they told me that I need to find a new primary care physician. This is when I was at the HCA Florida Primary Care, after they told me that I need a new primary care physician, and I went to the emergency room. And when I went to the emergency room, they were harassing me. So I immediately left from the emergency room after going to my primary care physician, which was on the other side of this same building. And I got in a Lyft, spent $8.50, and asked them to take me to the Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare Emergency Room. This is the documentation that they asked me to fill out, where I mentioned there's pain in my neck and my back. My penis is swelling with blisters, open wounds in between my right groin and right inner thigh. This is me sitting in the emergency room. And this is me calling a Lyft to take me to the Walgreens at 414 South Magnolia Drive in Tallahassee, Florida, so I can purchase a neck brace. I was waiting for them to call my name in the emergency room, and my neck was hurting really bad, and I was having difficulty holding my neck up because of the amount of pain. And they were taking long to call my names to see the doctor, so I called a Lyft to take me to Walgreens to purchase a neck brace. I called several Walgreens and CVS pharmacy locations in Tallahassee, and this particular location was the only location that had a neck brace, a cervical neck brace. When I arrived, I couldn't find it, but then somebody helped me find it. I also need one of these braces for my back. I was there trying to find it. I overheard a woman who sounded like a doctor by the way, I mean, with the type of words she was using and what she was saying. And she was standing with a Muslim woman who was wearing a hijab, and also a man who also looked like a Muslim. And I thought they worked there. And I asked her, "Where's the cervical collar, or the neck brace?" And I told them they specifically told me to go to this Walgreens to obtain it. It's the cervical collar. That's her handing it to me. This is me purchasing it. This is me wearing the cervical collar after I purchased it. I had to wash my hands first before I opened it and put it on my neck, because I didn't want to get any skin infections on my neck after touching the wheelchair at the emergency room and touching all these other surfaces. This is me walking back to the lift. This is the wristband that they gave me while I was in the emergency room at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, waiting for the doctor. This is me walking outside of Walgreens and getting into the lift. This is the people that were inside Walgreens. This is the Muslim woman that was with them. This is the woman that helped me find the cervical collar. And that's the gentleman who was with them. This is me inside the lift, arriving to the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital emergency room. Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare. It's the wristband that they gave me while I was waiting. This is me walking back into Tallahassee Memorial Hospital at 9:55 p.m. the same day, Tuesday, September 19th, 2023, the same day that I had an appointment with my primary care physician at 3 p.m. and they told me I need to find a new primary care physician. This is me sitting down in the wheelchair again in the same area, waiting for the doctor to call my name, or waiting for them to call my name so I can see the doctor. This is me talking to the nurse behind the desk, asking them if they called my name. This is me inside the room. An hour later. This is me with the neck brace on, sitting in the wheelchair, waiting to see the doctor. This is me again, sitting in the wheelchair in that same room, waiting to see the doctor. This is the documentation they gave me after they discharged me from the hospital. Chief complaint: neck and back pain, penis swollen with blisters, open wounds by groin. This is the same documentation they gave me when they discharged me from the hospital, saying I need to follow up with neurosurgery at 1401 Centerville Road, Suite 300, Tallahassee, Florida, 32308. They're located on the same compound as Tallahassee Memorial Hospital emergency room. They're on the other side. This is the same documentation they gave me when I was discharged, telling me to follow up with Transition Center outpatient at 3333 Capitol Oaks Drive, Tallahassee, Florida, 32303. If I'm not able to find a primary care physician to help me within 48 hours. It's the Documentation. This is the number to the Fasick and Brooks law firm in Tallahassee. I called them to tell them what they were doing. They were harassing me, and they weren't helping me, and the harassment was following me and reoccurring. This is me when I arrived home. This is when I scheduled an appointment with MD Live. So the doctor named Adina M. Logan could reroute the prescription and send it to Humana Pharmacy in Westchester, Ohio. So they could deliver the medication to me through the mail, being that Publix Pharmacy said they don't deliver medications to Medicaid patients anymore. This is me going to my primary care physician. This is me at the window of my primary care physician asking them for help. And they then told me that I need to find a new primary care physician. This is me calling my father on FaceTime and my mother on FaceTime, telling them what happened. This is me at the HCA Florida Capitol Hospital emergency room. That's on the other side of the HCA Florida primary care physician's office. That told me I need to find a new primary care physician. So I had to go to the emergency room because I needed help right away. Emergency room is on the other side of the same building. This is me talking to the person at the front desk, asking for help. This is me in the room that they put me in for approximately 2 to 3 days. And I needed help with hygiene, and the lump in my right groin area was leaking blood and pus after the surgery still. And my penis had large blisters that were leaking blood and pus. And they didn't help me for 2 or 3 days with my hygiene. They just left me there laying on the bed, wearing the same diaper. And when I asked them for help, because the diaper was soiled with blood and pus and I needed to change it and I needed help, they gave me the hygiene stuff, and they said the nurse was going to be helping me and to just wait for the nurse. The nurse never arrived, and I really needed to change the diaper. And when I removed the diaper to try to change myself and clean myself, the skin from my penis ripped off because it was stuck to the diaper because of all the blood and pus that accumulated and dried up and stuck to my penis in the diaper. Yeah, it was really bad. This is me calling a Lyft from the HCA emergency room hospital where they had me for about 3 days, and going to the FBI building at 227 North Brownell Street. Because while I was in the while I was in the HCA hospital emergency room here in Tallahassee, there was a news report on the television on CNN in the room that I was in that mentioned that they needed some information about something specific, and what they were mentioning was something that they needed information from me about. So I went to the 227 North Brownell Street location to provide them with that specific information. When I arrived to that FBI office, they told me to go to the Leon County Sheriff's Office. So this is the lift that I called, spent $14.25 to go from the HCA Florida Capitol Hospital Emergency Room to the 227 North Brownell Street FBI office. This is me waiting in the front lobby of the HCA hospital, waiting for the lift to arrive to take me to the FBI building so I could provide them with that specific information. These are some pictures that were on the wall of the lobby about the Bureau of Victim Compensation. This is me taking pictures of myself waiting for the lift in front of the information about the Bureau of Victim Compensation. This is the information of the FBI office in New York, specifically the Attorney General, who was talking about the specific information that they needed on CNN, and mentioned specific information that they needed from me. This is me in the lift going to the FBI office. This is me in the lift going to the Leon County Sheriff's Office after the FBI building. Oh, wait. Confirm. I don't know. This is me Googling where the Leon County Sheriff's Office is after I went to the FBI building, and they directed me to go to the Leon County Sheriff's Office to provide them with the information. 227 North Brownell Street, Tallahassee is the FBI building location. 2825 Municipal Way is the Leon County Sheriff's Office location. It's the lift that picked me up from the FBI building to take me to the Leon County Sheriff's Office. This is the building that the FBI office is located in, the city center building. These are the government entities and municipalities that are in the building. This is me in front of that sign with those government entities and municipalities offices. This is me exiting the FBI building. This is me in the lift on the way to the Leon County Sheriff's Office. This is me arriving to the Leon County Sheriff's Office, 2825. This is me walking into the Leon County Sheriff's Office. This is me entering the Leon County Sheriff's Office. This is me at the front desk when I was talking to the Leon County Sheriff's Office personnel at the front desk. This is me sitting down waiting for them to come outside to talk to me. This is the lobby of the Leon County Sheriff's Office. This is the information that Humana Medicaid sent me to call to obtain a primary care physician right away. These are the list of primary care physicians that accept Humana Medicaid. These are the home health agencies that accept Humana Medicaid. I was on the phone with them while I was sitting in the lobby, waiting to speak with the Leon County Sheriff's Office. This is me sitting in the lobby while I was on the phone with the Leon County, with the Humana Medicaid. And then this is when I was speaking with with Detective Rogers from the Leon County Sheriff's Office and providing him with the specific information that I was directed to provide to the Federal Bureau of Investigation by the New York Attorney General about an ongoing news report that they were specifically specifying the needed information about on CNN that day. This is me talking to Detective Rogers. This is me inside of Detective Rogers' police vehicle and him transporting me to the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. This is a sign that says Procurement Unit Delivery. That's outside of the Leon County Sheriff's Office. I took a picture of that sign specifically because, for example, if I'm talking to doctors and medical professionals and they're acknowledging that I'm injured and I need help and they're not helping me, that's a serious problem. And that's a procurement scam because my government Medicaid health insurance is paying them to help me every time I go to the doctor or go to a medical professional or healthcare facility, and they're not helping me. And I have to go to them for help because the only health insurance that I have is Humana Medicaid, a government health insurance that is provided to me by the government because I'm poor. The government is acknowledging that I'm poor and they're acknowledging that I need health care. So they're paying my hospital bills with my government Medicaid health insurance. But the doctors and the medical professionals and the healthcare facilities that are accepting my insurance, they're not helping me. Therefore, that's an attempt of murder and a procurement scam. Because I have no choice but to go to them for help because I'm poor. And if they don't help me, that's as if I'm being attempted to be murdered because it's a necessary living necessity that I get health care so I don't die. If someone gives their alarm code to their house to a thief, they'll be at risk for getting robbed by a thief. If someone is talking to medical professionals and doctors, and those medical professionals and doctors are acknowledging that they're injured and they need help, and they're not helping them, that's a serious problem. This is me at the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital emergency room. Again, this is the wristband they gave me on September 22nd, 2023, after Detective Rogers transported me from the Leon County Sheriff's Office to the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital after I saw the news report from the Attorney General at the Federal Bureau of Investigation specifically specifying that he needs information about what he was specifically stating. And I went to the FBI to provide them with that specific information, and the FBI in Tallahassee directed me to go to the Leon County Sheriff's Office to provide them with that information. This is me at the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, waiting to see the doctor after the Detective Rogers brought me to the hospital. This is the clothes that I was wearing and the medications that I brought with me when I went to the HCA emergency room hospital, and they didn't help me, and they kept me there for 3 days. These are the all white clothes that I was wearing. That's the wristband that they gave me at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital when I arrived after being brought there by Detective Rogers. This is the property slip of my gold white iPhone 14 Pro Max and my teal iPhone 11 and my white pair of rubber sandals, white scrubs, and white pair of socks that I had when I was wearing when I was at the HCA emergency room. This is me telling my father what happened. Also, when I was at the HCA emergency room in Tallahassee, the nurse slammed my phones down onto the keyboard and desk area after I asked her very nicely to be gentle with my phones because they're brand new. Well, my iPhone 14 Pro Max is brand new and it's expensive. And she slammed it on the keyboard and desk area after I told her that. And she also had to cut my shirt because it was very difficult for me to take off my shirt because of my neck and my back pain. So she had to cut my shirt. The shirt that I had on underneath the teal colored scrubs that you see me wearing here from the hospital. The top was very small. They said that's the only size they had. And it was very difficult for me to put it on. And once I got it on, it was going to be difficult for me to take it off to remove my long sleeve white undershirt. So they had to cut off the shirt from underneath me because the scrub top was too small for me to take off again without it hurting my neck and back. We were directly underneath a camera while that same nurse that slammed my phone down was cutting my shirt, and we were also underneath the camera when the nurse slammed my phone down. This is me this is when I was in front of the x-ray, about to get an MRI in the x-ray room, right before I was going to get an MRI. Once again, this is the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital where Detective Rogers brought me to. This is me standing in front of the x-ray room, waiting to get an MRI at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. This is me calling my mom, tell her what happened. And this is me taking several pictures after noticing there's a dent in between my eyebrows that's pointing in an upward direction. as if there's an infection that is spreading in my airways, going up through the airways in between my eyebrows and above my nasal cavity, and going up to my brain, right next to a scar in my right eyebrow, indicating there's some kind of infection that might have been spreading. That is why there's a dent there, indicating something was traveling up through my airways and nasal passage, going up to my brain. This is the Humana Pharmacy location that's supposed to be delivering the ondansetron medication that was prescribed to me after the home health care aide made me sick and cut my penis, causing it to swell up with blisters after she helped me shave, after helping me shower. These are images that I sent of all of that, proving all of that to the doctor with MD Live, named Dr. Adina M. Logan, specifically so she could reroute the prescription of the ondansetron 4 milligram disintegrating tablet that they sent to the Publix pharmacy and weren't willing to deliver it to me because they said they no longer deliver medications to Medicaid patients. So Humana told me to do a video conference through MD Live immediately with MD Live and explain it to the doctor. And Dr. Adina M. Logan was the doctor that was assigned. And she sent the prescription to the Humana Pharmacy, mail delivery. This is me speaking with Dr. Adina M. Logan. This is Dr. Adina M. Logan. This is me explaining to her what they did to me and telling her I need her help. And she then told me she'll help me, and she was rewriting the prescription and sending it to Humana Pharmacy so they could deliver it to me. This is me giving Dr. Adina M. Logan a good review for helping me. This is me explaining to them the situation in its entirety. This is the review in its entirety. The review was too long for the review area here on MD Live. After I wrote the review, it mentioned that it has to be 100 characters or less. where it's telling me that the review had to be 100 characters or less. This is me having to go to the emergency room. This is the paramedics taking me to the emergency room. This is me in the ambulance on the way to the emergency room. This is me arriving to the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital emergency room. This is me telling them that there's pain in my neck, my back, my penis is swollen with blisters, and there's an open wound in between my right groin and right inner thigh. At 7:12 p.m. Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. Same day that I had an appointment with my primary care physician, and they told me, and I missed that appointment because of the fact that I need help from a home healthcare agency. I had an appointment that day at 3 p.m. and I missed the appointment. This is the documentation they gave me at the hospital, Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, when I went there, specifically that day on September 22nd, 2023. Tuesday. This was yesterday when I went to the emergency room and they prescribed me ointment for the wounds in my groin area. Chief complaint, neck pain, groin wounds. Visit date, September 22nd, 2023. They mentioned New York because of the FBI situation that I reported to Leon County, that the Attorney General in New York mentioned he needed specific information about. This is them telling me I need to go to neurosurgery at 1401 Centerville Road, Suite 300. This is them telling me to follow up with Transition Center outpatient at 3333 Capitol Oaks Drive, Tallahassee, Florida 32303 as soon as possible. This is them telling me to call to schedule an appointment with the Transition Center for assistance with establishing a primary care physician because I couldn't find a primary care physician to help me within 48 hours. And they told me to go back to Florida Memorial Hospital in 48 hours if I couldn't find a primary care physician to help me. They mentioned that on the previous documentation. This is me today, 7:28 p.m., Saturday, September 23rd, 2023. This is the appointment that I had to make with Apple support because the nurse at the HCA hospital, that day where they had me there for 3 days, they didn't help me. The nurse there, she slammed my phone down and damaged my iPhone 14 Pro Max. This is the appointment that I had to make with Best Buy in Tallahassee at 1400 Appalachian Parkway on September 29, 2023 at 3:20 p.m. so they could repair the phone. Good thing I have insurance for the phone. This is showing that the primary care physician's office that told me I need to find a new primary care physician is here, and the HCA emergency room where they had me for 3 days and they didn't help me is literally on the other side. This is the appointment that I had with my primary care physician on September 19, 2023 at 3 p.m. at 2770 Capitol Medical Boulevard, Suite 200, Tallahassee, Florida. This is located on the other side of the HCA emergency room. This is the email that the risk management department, this is the email address that the risk management department told me to email and tell them what the nurse did. Specifically told me to give them the description of the nurse who slammed my phone down. I specifically gave them all the information. I specifically stated the fat white nurse that was irate, talking loud, aggressive, and intimidating me, slammed my iPhone 14 Pro Max gold in color and my iPhone 11 teal in color onto the keyboard of the computer that is in the area that she did my vitals, and had to cut my shirt because my neck and back is injured and it hurt when I had to put on the hospital scrub top that was too small, and take the long sleeve white 4XL shirt that I had on underneath the small scrub top. I asked the nurse to please be gentle with my phones because they're expensive, and she slammed my phones onto the keyboard area after I said that. There was a camera above us when she did that. I was there from Wednesday, September 20th, 2023 at 4:24 p.m. to Friday, September 22nd, 2023 at 12:25 p.m. My iPhone 14 Pro Max in color has a chip in the gold color of the frame that is around the top of the iPhone above where the earpiece area is. The iPhone was brand new. This is the information of the risk management department's phone number and the email address. I made sure I put it in the notes of the number when I saved it in my phone, as well as the email that I sent to them. I spoke with them today directly when they provided me with this email so I could put it in writing. At 2:26 p.m., I was on the phone with them for 7 minutes. Put the information here in the notes. Time now is 9:50 p.m. Today is Saturday, September 23rd, 2023. This is when I told my teachers at Tallahassee Community College about my medical emergency so they're aware. And so this doesn't negatively affect my grade in college. I'm currently pursuing a law degree and a medical degree and trying my best not to fall behind on any of my classes. This is my college success teacher, Dr. Christine Ackermer. I mentioned to her about the neck pain, my penis being swollen with blisters, the open wound in my groin area when I was at the emergency room on September 19th, 2023. She messaged me back and said that she's sorry that I'm having such a rough time. This is me mentioning to her and stating and thanking her for her concern and patience. She said to me that she's sorry that I'm having such a rough time and she hopes that I start feeling better soon, and to take care and let her know if I have any questions. That was at 5:34 p.m. today. And then also, I messaged my math teacher, Mr. David Del Rossi. He also acknowledged that I'm having a medical emergency, and I replied to him also mentioning and thanking him for his concern and his patience and his clarification. And this is when I was mentioning my medical emergency to my English teacher. He told me to keep him posted. That was on the 18th of September. So this is necessary because I have to make sure my teachers are aware of my medical emergency so my grade in their classes is not negatively affected. The time now is 9:54 p.m. Today is Saturday, September 23rd, 2023. My name is Omar Mohsen Ibrahim Fuad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.